I was playing Twilight Princess the other month, not because I was looking for a spiritual awakening, but because sometimes the world is just too damn loud, and the soft glow of the CRT makes it quiet. And I think you know the feeling. It's that feeling of obligations always floating over your fucking head, or that endless scroll of bad news that I personally don't care about, but I'm just not trying to see all that shit. Or that sneaking guilt, that creeping guilt that really takes over you because you're not doing enough, because you're not grinding like you should be. And I wasn't looking for therapy. I was looking for a familiar comfort. And that's what I figured I was signing up for. Instead, something entirely unexpected happened. The hero Shade appears calmly sitting outside of the forest temple in his dog form, right before biting your cute little face off and sending you to Mimi's land, where he beats your ass and drops a fat, steaming bar right on your forehead. His first words, "A sword wields no strength unless the hand that holds it has courage," landed like a letter that I forgot I wrote myself 19 years ago. It hit me harder than it normally does. It's that kind of statement that you feel in your chest. And that's when I realized that this game that I've loved for so long has been holding up this mirror to my life since 2006. I just wasn't ready to look. And at the time, I was just speeding through life. I think like a lot of us, we're trying to become older faster. We're trying to get through life quicker so we can get to that cool part that we talk about. But now that I'm older and a little more bruised, this game is turned into less of a distraction and more into a profound conversation. Before we move on, let's do a thought experiment real quick. If you could sit down with your younger self and explain to them how much failure, how much fear, how many disheartening moments, and how much unexpected joy is waiting for them, would they listen? More importantly, would you want them to? Would you rob them of this beautiful, messy, glorious life where they can figure it out all by themselves? It's a question that's honestly been haunting me, and maybe more than it should. And we're going to use the hero Shade to look at our past selves a little bit and maybe see what we would say to our younger self. I'm going to start with when I was 15. I hated unsolicited advice. I fucking hated it. The worst thing you could possibly do is start a sentence by telling me what I should do. What you should do? Nah, bro. By that moment, I'm done listening. And honestly, I still feel that way. You can't do that shit to me. And my dad, and I know he meant well, he would try to warn me about the path I was on, about the anger I seemed to always carry. And as soon as he would, I would just push back and walk straight into life's traps. I was detrimentally defiant. It was this deep-seated need to make my own mistakes, to collect my own scars, and in hindsight, maybe it was necessary. But the hero Shade, he respects that boundary. He never grabs Link by the tunic and is like, "Alright, bitch, it's time to learn." He waits patiently. He's the embodiment of the weight of his own past choices, and that willingness, that ability to allow someone to struggle on their own until they're ready to learn. Well, that's a profound kind of love. I have come to realize that it's an insanely difficult thing to do as an adult, to watch somebody fuck up and then let them pick themselves up all on their own schedule. And I guess we have to learn that improvement comes from the fertile ground of personal error and not from perfectly paved paths. You can give them the map, but they have to walk. The Shade isn't trying to re-edit his past. He can't. Instead, he treats the future, his descendant, with patience, dignity, and challenge. We can't fix yesterday, but we can decide how we meet the next version of us. Coach the future. Don't punish the past. Every lesson with the Shade begins with a demo, then encouragement. The Shade checks your form, nods, and pushes you forward. After you prove you've learned the last technique, he'll be happy that teaches you the next one. By the end of the second skill, he'll lay out the path like a mentor talking you through a grind. The path to becoming the true hero is a long one, but once you have grasped all the hidden skills, you shall be worthy of walking it. You must persist on the lonely path of the sword to obtain true courage and earn the strength to conquer the great evils of the world. There are 7 hidden skills, and it's beautiful because you can't buy them. You have to earn them, and a skill that you have to earn as an adult is admitting when you're wrong, which is something I really struggled with. It was so terrible. It was hard to swallow my pride, and it's something that I wish I would have worked on earlier in life, especially before getting married. But better late. Real quick, let me go on a tangent. I know that people shit on the slow start of the game, but I love it. It opens up like childhood. The days are long, the world is vast, trouble hasn't found you yet. You run errands, you herd goats, you fish. It feels small on purpose, so you remember what normal costs when it's gone. The calm, mundane prelude, those quiet chores, are the control group for everything that comes next. Hanging with the homies, Colin, Mallow, Tallow, Beth, means a lot because you see younger versions of yourself in them and try to do for them what you wish had been done for you. Mentorship without the speech, kindness, standing between the kids and the teeth of the world, modeling the thing you needed. It's not epic, it's real. Anyways, let's move on. I just want to talk about how cool the slow start is in the beginning, how it has no problems and I love it so much, and how you're wrong and you can fight me, bitch. The shade is weathered metal around a hollow space, and it's what happens when regret calcifies. It's built on a mountain of what ifs. You wield it one missed conversation at a time and overlooked opportunities until you can't even lift your arms. Mine looked like never apologizing for things that were absolutely my fault, procrastinating until it was definitely too late, or letting my fires of passion die out for something that I was trying to do because I just couldn't see my own potential. If the greatest hero in the timeline can become a ghost of unfinished business, then maybe all those regrets and what ifs are not a curse, they're tuition. And one heavy regret that I carry is that I never got to speak with my grandma before she passed. I kept putting it off, thinking, oh, I'm going to have more chances. There's going to be another time I'll be able to get to talk to her. And well, now it's too late. And it sucks because, yeah, it's really in line with missing conversations. But because of that, I have really made it a point to contact and reach out to the ones I love and maintain really strong bonds with them. The encounters with the shade don't change a whole lot. It's always a demonstration, a lesson, practice, and encouragement. And a lot like the real world, shit doesn't change a whole lot at a fundamental level. But you do. Life's lessons get hammered into you, and after the 10th time, a command might sound more like a warning, but on the 20th, it's an invitation, an open door to improve. You can't patch the past, but you can understand it and act differently now. Towards the end of the game, the last pieces start to click. Mastery isn't volume, it's resonance. To get to speak to our homie, you gotta hit the right notes, the right frequency. Off key at first, then the note that aligns bridges. That's adult life. Healing, apologizing, budgeting. You fuck it up, you miss, you try again. Then one day you land the note, and the world answers, fine, here's your bridge. Midna with her little feet starts out as sarcasm with a pulse, armor made out of jokes. And the turn isn't her asking for help, it's Zelda giving it. After Xant's attack, Zelda sacrifices herself to save Midna, and that unearned grace is what cracks the mask, so to speak. It changes Midna from someone who's just using Link to trusting him, from smug detachment to costly loyalty. That's the other half of adulthood, not just enduring but letting compassion change you. Sometimes you don't earn the rescue, you receive it and then you carry it forward. The Shade teaches endurance, Midna's arc teaches acceptance and responsibility after mercy. Roll through when you can. When help arrives unasked, receive it and answer it with devotion. In my own life, unexpected help has shown up time and time again with my wife. At the beginning of our marriage, it felt so strange for someone to help me the way she did. That woman believes in me more than I believe in myself. And she's given me the confidence to chase after my dreams, and I'm responding by barreling towards the goal. Now let's move on towards the end of the game, and with the shattering of the Twilight Mirror, it seems like closure. Heroic, clean, final. But it's an unfinished sentence. Life is full of those. You're not always going to get a tidy resolution or an explanation, and growth is learning to live with the comma and still walk forward. When I was younger, I wanted to speed run through life, and I know that a lot of us said some stupid shit like, oh, I can't wait to grow up. But Twilight Princess slows you down on purpose. The goats, the bugs, the escort quests, it's all repetitive. Adult life is a slow walk. You can't buffer grief or RNG a promotion. You can't even clip through hard conversations. You gotta keep showing up time after time. You gotta stick it out with the rest of us trudging through life slowly, not knowing what the hell we're doing. And growth hides in repetition. When the loop of life teaches you what it can, you don't camp there, you move. Stopping too long curdles into stagnation. There's always one more horizon. Here's what I missed when I was a kid. The Shade doesn't beg Link to worship the past, he invests in the future. He spots potential, names it, and hands over the 7 skills one by one. No contempt, no gatekeeping, just standards and encouragement. After the last lesson, he rests, not because the past changed, but because the future answered it. His regret armor stops being a prison and becomes a legacy, a syllabus handed down that actually got used. That's the parallel. We can't edit our childhood, but we can decide how we treat that kid that still lives in us. Recently, I've been thinking about something Terry Crews said on his childhood, how you're still that little boy and you never stopped being that little boy. When you look at the past, when you look at that kid, your past, you have to ask, is that a bad kid? You wouldn't call that child an idiot. Would you tell him he's stupid? Would you abuse him for not succeeding? You don't need contempt. Be the hero's shade. Firm, kind, forward-facing. Teach the technique. Praise progress. Set the next challenge. Then let the pupil, your future, carry it farther than you did. What would you say to your younger self? I guess it's only fair that I say a few words. So here it goes. You're not a unicorn. You're not inherently good at anything you do, and that's perfectly fine. You're a workhorse, so use that to your advantage. Have we achieved all our dreams? I don't know yet, but God damn it, I'm trying, and we're not giving up. You know that hate and anger you carry? It's not your fault. Stop hating yourself for it. And one last thing. All those times you get ghosted, stood up, ignored, they're all worth it. Twilight Princess ends like it's offering stillness. The shattered mirror, Ordon at dusk, Link returns. But then he rides out again. The shade fades, but only after he treats the past with respect, not nostalgia, and that is our move. Regret is not a verdict, it's a syllabus. We can't rewrite old chapters, but we can teach the next reader. Treat your younger self the way the Shade treats his descendant, with patience, precision, and belief. Camp long enough to heal, leave soon enough to grow. Like me, subscribe, talk to me in the comments.